mixing with flair. Every sip's a moment we're happy to share. Liquid lunch, pour it smooth, let it flow. Friends round the table where the good times grow. Raise a glass, let the worries slip away. Liquid lunch, we're living for the day. The clock don't matter, we're lost in the vibe. Jazz in the air, feel the soul come alive. From martinis to bourbon, we're riding the wave. Stealing this hour, it's the freedom we crave. Sun's still shining, but we're in our zone. This bar's our shelter, our temporary home. One more round before the world calls us back. Savor the moment, keep the blues in the rack. We'll laugh and we'll toast till the afternoon fades. Memories made in these liquid escapades. Liquid lunch, pour it smooth, let it flow. Friends round the table where the good times grow. Raise a glass, let the worries slip away. Liquid lunch, we're living for the day. So here's to the daylight, the drinks and the fun. Our liquid lunch, till the next one comes. With a wink and a smile, we'll be back real soon. Chasing that jazz under the high noon.
Thank you so much, Maddy, for pointing out that I was muted. I'm not sure exactly why I did that. I got to get out of the habit of doing that. There is no reason for me to do that, especially when there's no one else in the studio. But welcome, Vasalud, and thank you so much for being here. Happy Friday. It is the weekend. Yeah, let's get into this weekend. I think that a liquid lunch is a great way to start. Starting with my beautiful co-pilot in life, Netter of Netters Network. She says, hello, love of my life. Hello, my dear. I'm glad to see you here. Have a great show, my friends. Says Big Al of Big Al Presents. He has a film rewatch coming up with deleted scenes this afternoon. If you get a chance, well, this afternoon, late this afternoon, early evening, depending on how you look at it. But make sure you go and say hi to him. Tell him we sent you. Looks like Aged Boomer's having some lunch today. He's saying nom nom nom. Good to see you, my friend. I will be hanging out with you, of course, tonight at Last Call. That's your show tonight because we are pulling in Michael French of Retro Blasting because you wanted to follow up with him for the second part of your James Bond retrospective, which is exactly why we are talking Vesper Martini this afternoon. Gorilla's censored thoughts. He says, Hapla, may you bring glory to your streams. Which ones is up to you? Absolutely. Thank you so much, my friend. It's good to see you. And, of course, the aforementioned Maddy, who is keeping me grounded and reminding me when I should take my mic off of mute. So, Yes, here it is. Tonight, yes, it was marooned. I thought it was, but I wasn't sure. The weeks tend to run together for me. So tonight at 7 Eastern, that's 6 Central Time, join him in Deleted Scenes for Marooned from 69. Nice. And, of course, happy Friday to Daniel Barry's Sports Highlights. And because it is Friday and it is the weekend, we are talking adult beverages tonight. That may very well be the regular Friday chat. I'll pick a drink and talk a little bit about it. But let's start out with the aforementioned Vesper Martini. I am reading from a super secret source known as Wikipedia. And I'm going to critique this article as we go, just because I'm pedantic that way. The Vesper is a cocktail that was originally made of gin, vodka, and quina lillet. Since that form of lillet is no longer produced, modern bartenders need to modify the recipe to mimic the original taste with lillet blanc or Coca Americano as a typical substitute. Speaking of which, so lillet blanc and Coca Americano. This is not a sponsored stream. I'm just pointing out that I have both options. I have tried both options. I'll tell you which one I prefer in just a moment. And as far as the gin that I'm using, I am using Bombay Sapphire, London Dry. I just recommend a London Dry of any kind, whatever you prefer. You can go with Beefeaters if you want, whatever you think is best. Anyway, the drink was popularized by author Ian Fleming in his 1953 novel Casino Royale, in which the character of James Bond invents the recipe and names the cocktail, calling it a special martini. And though it lacks the vermouth that defines a martini in Fleming's day, it is sometimes called a Vesper Martini. I do believe that the term Vesper Martini is a fan ascribed name nomenclature based on the female the main female lead in the story named Vesper. So the history. In Ian Fleming's Casino Royale, the first of his works to feature James Bond, he orders a dry martini in a deep champagne goblet, but then changes his order and gives the barman a recipe. The dialogue is, just a moment, 3 measures of Gordon's, 1 of vodka, half a measure of quina lillet. Shake it very well until it's ice cold, then add a large, thin slice of lemon peel. Got it? By the way, that dialogue is almost exactly repeated in the Casino Royale film starring that bloke that they killed off. I don't remember what his name is. Anyway, Bond deems the result excellent and calls it a special martini. Later in the novel, after being introduced to the beautiful Vesper Lind, Bond tells Vesper that his search for a name is over if she will permit him to name the drink after her. Oh, okay. So they assume that the name is thusly applied. The cocktail was not Fleming's creation. It was devised by his friend Ivar Bryce, as evidenced by the words Fleming inscribed in Bryce's copy of Casino Royale. Quote, "For Ivor, you mixed the first Vesper and said the good word." Naming a cocktail the Vesper was Fleming's idea, though he drew inspiration from someone else's joke. He had encouraged the term at evening drinks when a butler announced Vespers are served. Fleming adapted this pun on the name of the religious observance normally held about sunset. That makes a lot of sense. Now suddenly it's all kind of clicking. Bond alludes to this by praising the cocktail's name as very appropriate to the violet hour when my cocktail will now be drunk all over the world. Anyway, let's get into that recipe. And why did I name this stream Stirred and Never Shaken? So Bond says that he wants this drink shaken well until it is ice cold. Why do you shake a drink? There's two reasons, and both happen simultaneously. You shake it over ice to bring an otherwise room temperature liquid mixture to the same temperature as the ice, right? That has an unwanted effect on your drink, however. Ice made out of water and immediately begins to start to melt. So even if you shake it very quickly and then it quickly decant it out, you're still going to have some water now in your drink that you may or may not have wanted in the first place. If you want to water down your drink, first, you're wrong. And then secondly, you should be able to choose exactly how much water you want in it, not kind of guess based on temperature. So I never shake over ice. Secondly, when you shake a drink, well, think about a carbonated beverage you might shake. What happens? It gets all agitated, and then when you go to open it up, it blows up. Why? Because in the case of a carbonated drink, you have this carbon dioxide dissolved in the water under pressure. No matter what pressure it is outside the bottle, when you open it, you hear the psst, right? Because those bubbles are now released, right? But if you agitate it, the pressure increases. You get all kinds of fun, right? But even if it's not a carbonated drink, you just take a bottle of water and shake it, right? You are going to aerate it. It's going to have bubbles of air in it. And that's exactly what happens to a drink like a martini when you shake it. A gin martini, a vodka martini, even with a bit of Quina Lillet or Coca Americano, is going to be mostly clear. You shake it up, and it's gonna look diffuse. It's gonna look everything's gonna be blurry looking through it, right? Because it's now aerated, and that changes the texture on your palate. It changes the taste, and in my opinion, no bueno. I want to see what you guys are saying real quick because I realize I'm kind of monopolizing the conversation here, and it should be more of a conversation. I want to say real quick, hello, salute to Jesse Green, 619. Always great to see you. It's not for Ian Fleming. We might all be, if not for Ian Fleming, we might all be living under a certain flag right now. Yeah, maybe bring that up a little bit more tonight, Aged Boomer, and how what a great war hero Ian Fleming was. And he deserves some accolades. He absolutely does. Oh, he's even dropping the link to tonight's stream. Absolutely. I hope you guys will all be there. So, what is the difference between gin and vodka? Right? He says a vodka martini. Okay, why would you choose gin over vodka over gin? There he is. Here I are, he says. Mark, if that was you that was just calling, you should know better. When I'm on a stream, I'm not going to be taking phone calls. But anyway, they are effectively the same thing. I mean, gin is vodka that is infused with juniper berries. There are all kinds of flavored vodkas out there. You got me why a juniper infused vodka would be called gin, whereas I don't know, a strawberry infused vodka is called strawberry vodka. It is what it is. And this infusion of juniper is, you taste it. I mean, think about it. Just take a little sip of straight gin. You're going to go, okay, it tastes different from vodka, but I can't put my finger on exactly what it is. You're not going to immediately go, oh, juniper berries, right? Assuming you even know what juniper berries taste like. So, what did he say? Yeah, James Bond liked to get drunk on occasion. I believe that was self-medication. We can talk about that some more tonight, too. Vodka, that Tratnan liquid spice that makes my mate's rook egg blood pie perfect. Mark is referring to the old PC game Star Trek Klingon. That is actually where we get to see in some detail a number of Klingon foods, including rook egg blood pie, and one of the characters specifically mentions that. And an arm around a sexy lady and a drink in hand. Absolutely, that's how I prefer to drink. But Netter's busy today, so maybe later. So what I'm getting at is a gin has some very subtle flavors that when you aerate it, kind of destroys it. You don't. It may as well be vodka, and it may as well be cheap vodka at that. There's no reason for it. But specifically, this is a vodka martini, right? So they're foregoing the juniper. So one could argue, well, then it's okay that it's shaken. I prefer a gin martini myself. So that's specifically why when I make my own take on a Vesper Martini, it's always going to be whatever gin I have on hand, which is usually Bombay Sapphire. And okay, so I got the Lillet Blanc, I got the Coqui Americano, and I tried them both. Buddy's American Vodka. Okay, so Netter is on. Good to see you, Netter. I know you were busy. I left the light on for you because I assumed you weren't done in there. But so anyway, I tried a martini with both and came to decide that I don't like Lillet Blanc. I really don't. I understand that people feel like Lillet Blanc and Coqui Americano are similar enough to Quina Lillet. I'll take them at their word, but they taste like two very different drinks to me. And of the two, I prefer Coqui Americano. Just my own personal opinion. So I will use up the Lillet Blanc because I feel that I must. I purchased it. I may as well use it up, but I really, really prefer the Coqui Americano, and I will not have to buy I won't have to buy a light vermouth for a while because I have 3/4 of a bottle of Lillet Blanc, 3/4 of this bottle of Coqui Americano, and a full bottle of Coqui Americano upstairs. So I'll be pretty good on that for a while. I also got the Coqui Americano Dark because I figured if I like the white Coqui Americano, let me try the dark. The dark was pretty good. It really wasn't bad. I've had a number of different dark vermouths for when I make Manhattans and so forth, and brown mumblers. But yeah, so these are just my opinion. And yeah, I think that Bond drinks a lot of champagne. Now, champagne. It is a naturally carbonated white grape wine, right? That's what it is. Specifically called champagne because it comes from the Champagne region of France. Personally, given a choice, I would rather have Asti Spumante from Italy, but that's just me. Take your bubbly white wine however you like it. S. Real Wade Nation Gaming Clip says, let's go! Troy! Finally able to catch it live for this. Yes, and speaking of catching us live, tomorrow, once again, I will be guesting over on Real Wade Nation Gaming Clips on his Rumble channel at 2 Central for a special rewatch of Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, which just recently was re-released. It's celebrating, I don't remember how many years, and I don't want to think about it because it'll make me feel old. Great movie, which did better than anything that was new in theaters that week. So I am not at all surprised. Yeah, Dom Perignon, which is, of course, the expensive stuff. Honestly, I've had it. Didn't think it was better than any other Asti I'd ever had. So, there are 2 movies, yes, but I'll only be able to make it for the one. His second feature is Treasure Planet, a film that maybe I will consider doing a rewatch of if I could get Tom Conkle to join me, because I see a lot of connective tissue there between that film and Island in the Stars. But there you go. Front loading a little bit for Friday night. So what I need to do before tonight's stream is I need to find the link to the part 1 of the James Bond, because I really need to put that into the description. Hey, catch the first part, tonight's the second part, that kind of a thing. And of course, if one of my blue wrenches would be kind enough to go out and get Retro Blasting's, the link to Retro Blasting's recent deep dive on Rogue One, I'd super appreciate that. Drop that in for me, because I'm about to talk about it right now. So Michael has worked for months researching and editing and re-recording and editing, and it's been pretty crazy. He does these deep dives on movies. He doesn't do them often, but when he does, they are longer videos than the movies are long. So he did one for The Dial of Dysentery, Indiana Jones, and it was a little over 4 hours on a 2-hour movie. So he had a lot to say. And then he does something very similar with Rogue One. I think Rogue One was about a 2-hour movie, and his deep dive is a little over 3 hours. Broken up into chapters. You can watch it in pieces, in bite-sized chunks. But I highly recommend it. If you liked Rogue One, if you didn't like Rogue One, it's probably worth it. Especially if you're the type that enjoys behind the scenes, finding out how a movie came to be, and thinking about how the movie could have been very, very, very different. Anyway, the reason I bring that up is because I know how many hours he put into. He spent months working on this, and months, I mean, working full time. Working on it, and he's pretty wiped out. So he's trying, to the best of his ability, to the best of a workaholic's ability, to take a break now, and I figured I'd strike while I could. I said, "Hey, you want to come back and do that James Bond stream?" And he's like, "Yeah, that I'll do," because he can come and have a drink and chat about something he already knows about. He doesn't have to do any work, doesn't have to research. Just come and hang out, which is really what I want my live streams to be. It's just a bunch of friends coming together to hang out. The original pilot for Thomas the Train from 1983 has been found and restored, released today on YouTube on Thomas and Friends channel. One of the Beatles narrated it. I do believe that was Ringo Starr, wasn't it? Ringo Starr, who was the original conductor for Thomas the Tank Engine. Pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. I'll have to check that out. That does sound interesting. But anyway, maybe I should go and look for it, because it looks like you guys are kind of busy. Which, yes, it was Ringo Starr. Yeah, that's okay. You guys are probably eating your lunch or drinking your lunch, hopefully. Let me see if I can find that for retro blasting. It's going to be the first one that comes up. There it is. Share, copy, and then I'm just going to drop it in here for you. Please go check that out. Give it a thumbs up, and maybe leave a comment, say that I sent you, so that maybe he appreciates my support or something like that. Maybe he'll be more likely to come back to my channel once in a while. Anyway, so yeah, tonight's stream is James Bond. Because I think it's been almost a year since the first part of this retrospective. I don't know how far we got into the various James Bonds. Let's face it, I was probably drinking a lot that night, so I don't even remember it that well. I'll have to go back and rewatch it before tonight. But I have the very unpopular view, although not as unpopular as I had at one time thought, that my favorite James Bond is George Lazenby on Her Majesty's Secret Service. And although I love the theme song from that movie, I can't really say it's one of my favorite. It is one of my favorites, but it is not my actual favorite. We Have All the Time in the World by Louis Armstrong. Great song. I really, really like that song. But George Lazenby was my favorite Bond for a couple reasons. One, I tend to root for the underdog. He was only ever in one Bond film. This is probably why I like Paul McGann so much as Doctor Who. He only got one appearance. Also, on Her Majesty's Secret Service, very much cemented aspects of Bond lore that people try to debate now, but you really can't, because you can keep going back to On Her Majesty's Secret Service. So they will point to On Her Majesty's Secret Service and the joke, this never happened to the other guy, implying that other James Bonds played by other actors are other people. And that's where they get their whole theory about the idea that James Bond is a title, a code name. It's not a real person, which doesn't match up with the books at all. And I say it doesn't even match up with the concept in the films, because the lore that's laid down in On Her Majesty's Secret Service of being married, his wife dying, and so forth. You have other actors later visiting the grave, it referencing that he'd been married once, and so on and so forth. It it's very clear that James Bond is one guy, regardless of what time period he's taking place. And just like Batman, right? Batman can be taking place in the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. It really shouldn't go past that. But anyway, and they're all Bruce Wayne. They're all Batman. It's just time that changes around him, not the character. Diana Riggs, probably my favorite Bond girl, so to speak. She had the most complex story, the most riveting, most tragic. And not to mention, of all the Bond girls, she's the one that I could most believe could actually be a female analog to James Bond, right? But yeah. What about the GoldenEye song sung by Tina Turner? I got to be honest with you, I don't even really remember it. After what's that? Timothy Dalton. Once Timothy Dalton took over, I kind of didn't pay much attention to James Bond after that. I tried to come back for Pierce, and partly that was because, and I'll probably talk more about this tonight. Pierce Brosnan was the fan casting, right? We all wanted him to play James Bond. He was up for the role. He was going to be Bond, but Remington Steele would not let him out of his contract. And it was spiteful that they wouldn't, because he was no longer needed for the role of Remington Steele. They just wanted to screw him and the fans. And so we got, dime store replacement Timothy Dalton, in my opinion. And those films would have been better with Pierce Brosnan, again, in my opinion. But be that as it may, I just like I fell away from Doctor Who after Colin Baker. I kind of fell away from James Bond after Timothy Dalton. So the songs weren't very much in my zeitgeist either. But what are my favorite songs? Let's look at a list of Bond songs. So we've got From Russia with Love, Goldfinger, Thunderball, You Only Live Twice. Well, let's go with the theme songs. So, of course, you have the original James Bond theme. That's a classic. You can't have Bond without it. From Russia with Love. It's a good song. I've sung it in karaoke. Goldfinger, Shirley Bassey. I'm always going to have a soft spot in my heart for anything done by Shirley Bassey. We share a birthday. Thunderball by Tom Jones, not one of my favorites. That's partly because I'm not a huge Tom Jones fan. For Your Eyes Only, Nancy Sinatra. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. I confused two songs. You Only Live Twice, Nancy Sinatra, great song. I got ahead of myself with For Your Eyes Only. That's Sheena Easton. That's definitely one of my favorites. So, Diamonds Are Forever, again, Shirley Bassey. Live and Let Die, Paul McCartney. I like it, but The Man with the Golden Gun by Lulu. I was never a big fan. Carly Simon, The Spy Who Loved Me. Nobody does it better. Yep. Octopussy, All Time High, Rita Coolidge. View to a Kill, Duran Duran. As I look at all the ones that come after this, I don't know any of them. I don't. I've never even heard of the. I'm assuming it's a band. The World Is Not Enough by Garbage. Never even heard of Garbage. So let's back up. Top 3 for me is All Time High, For Your Eyes Only, and Nobody Does It Better. And I think number 1 favorite, just edging out For Your Eyes Only, is Nobody Does It Better by Carly Simon. Again, just my opinion. Your mileage may vary. Instead of Remington Steel, we got Alcoa Aluminum. Okay. Oh, I get it. That was a thinker. It took me a second. Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much the case. Now, I know that not liking Timothy Dalton is anathema to some Bond fans. I'm looking at you, Michael French. But I don't like him. I just don't. I felt he was perfectly cast as Rassilon in Doctor Who because he was someone I didn't like playing a character you're not supposed to like. So there is that. But he also plays the villain in what was that Simon Pegg film? Oh gosh, help me! Hot Fuzz. He plays the villain in Hot Fuzz. Kind of a spoiler because you're not supposed to know about that. It's supposed to be the trick ending, but there's more to it than that. And I'm not spoiling the whole movie for you. And let's face it, it's just such a funny movie. The trick ending is not the big deal. You enjoy the movie because it's a great comedy. You should really check it out. Playing very different characters than they did in Shaun of the Dead. Definitely worth checking out. So James Bond. What was I gonna? There was something else I was gonna say about it. I got my and I guess maybe I'm kind of getting my thoughts out now because I want to give Michael and Boomer as much chance as possible to talk. Maybe try not to monopolize the stream for once tonight. Also because I will be drinking and I may not be solvent enough to be able to make a coherent talk later on. So. Best James Bond villain is Blofeld. I don't care who plays him. Blofeld is the best. He's the Joker to Bond's Batman. I mean, no doubt about it. Although that being said, I do feel like it makes it all Spectre all the time, and I don't like that per se. I do want to have a variety of different scenarios that don't always have to do with the one super secret baddie agency. For you, it's Goldfinger. That's fair. That's fair. I'm wondering for you how much that has to do with Goldfinger's portrayal in the film, portrayed by Christopher Lee. See, I do try to separate the actor from the character from the actor. Like for example, Blofeld was played by Telly Savalas and bummer, I'm forgetting his name. The dude from Halloween. Anyway, you guys know who I mean. And some other bloke that's supposed to look like him just so that they can kill him off. But that's the other very confounding factor about James Bond is, and we'll probably talk about this more tonight, at least I'll bring it up, is the future of James Bond, just like so much of the oh, I'm sorry, Christopher Lee played the man with the gold, and gold. See, I get all confused. Oh, and welcome, A.M. Tennyson. It's, I'm assuming me, Charlotte, my real name, LOLs, using this channel for my audio bits, novel promotion, and other stuff concerning that area of creativity. Well, folks, let's make sure we get over there and subscribe to. How do I do this? Go to channel. I will. Oh, that's a great picture of you too. Oh, I am already subscribed. Let me make sure that I hit that notification bell so I see everything that you release. Oh, I see. You haven't done a lot just yet, but let's get people to your channel and get them subscribed. Please, everybody, go check out Ms. Tennyson's channel and subscribe to it. Also, subscribe to Charlotte Nightstar, the Werewolf, as well. Some great music over there. She is incredibly creative and incredibly talented. And, well, she's just a nice person all around. So I would encourage you to encourage her, please. And let me get back to the conversation. So far in the novels, Goldfinger is the worst, but I haven't read all the ones with Blofeld. Fair enough. So what I was saying is that James Bond suffers from the same problem that Superman and Lord of the Rings suffer from, and that is changing hands and rights-related issues. It's bad enough when an IP changes hands, and now you have a new decider of what happens with it. But what's even worse still is when only partial rights move, and someone owns the rights to this but not to that, and so on and so forth. And whoever has some element of rights tries to work around what they do and do not have rights to. That always destroys the canon, and it pushes the fans away. If you have part of an IP, you effectively have no IP. Personal opinion, but I think it bears out. Thank you so much, Troy. Love you and everyone here so much. Salute. Keep being awesome. Yep. And also, my favorite Bond villain is either Christopher Lee or Xavier Bodem in Skyfall. So who did was Xavier Bodem the actor or the character? Was Skyfall a Blofeld story? I don't know. I didn't see. I do have all of the Bond films on DVD. Have not watched them all. And after Casino Royale, I did not keep up with that James Bond. I just did. And, from the way I heard, when I heard how it ended, I'm kind of glad that I didn't. Nothing Lost. That was a reboot, by the way. So that's one place where the canon does not, what I was talking about earlier with On Her Majesty's Secret Service, all those James Bonds are all part of the same canon. But once you hit Casino Royale, that's a reboot. There is no way to combine the two canons. Javier. Okay. Actor for the bad guy in Skyfall. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. But yeah, we will talk about that more tonight on Last Call with very special guest Michael French of Retro Blasting, who knows way more about James Bond than I do, and at least as much as Agent Boomer does. So I think we're going to have a lot of fun. I'm going to do a lot of Vesper Martini drinking, or at least Vesper Martini a la Troy. And, I may not remember the end of the stream, but that's what Fridays are for. Welcome to the weekend. Tomorrow afternoon, again, I will be on Real Wade Nation Gaming Clips for Revenge of the Sith. And then tomorrow evening, over on Netters Network, 9 Central, 10 Eastern, for 4 Rooms. 4 Rooms is a great film, kind of a dark comedy. Not that dark, more on the comedy side, with some incredibly adult themes. A lot of big name stars that you will remember, and some former big name stars that are pretty much has-beens today. Anthology film about 4 rooms in a hotel. Their narratives tied together tenuously by the bellboy, played by Tim Roth. The last of the 4 rooms is written and directed by Quentin Tarantino, and starring Quentin Tarantino, as well as starring Bruce Willis. And anyway, I don't want to give too much away. Very, very fun. I'm going to draw relationships to other films that were directly inspired by it, and you'll understand why later. And yeah, so that is it. I'm going to let you guys go so you can get back to work and finish up your Fridays so that we can party tonight. So, guys, you take care. I thank you guys so much for all the ways you support me. I could not do this without you. Please, on the way out, share it out, because even if you're not here live, it's still a good little chat. And Vasalu, have a great weekend, and I will see you on the next one. Take care, everyone.
Goodbye. Hope to see you again real soon.
So here's to the daylight, the drinks and the fun, our liquid lunch, till the next one comes. With a wink and a smile, we'll be back real soon, chasing that jazz under the high noon.